Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a quick preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a meteor, or they claim it's a meteor, but meteors don't generally fly like this. Let's see, I have this photo of this strange craft that was seen flying around Mount Fuji. Let's see, also I have this hour and a half documentary about people in the past seeing UFOs, and this came out in 2005. And again, to the people who are waiting for disclosure, I mean, what do you call all of this? This is a video about possible robots in ancient history. It talks about several different accounts which would seem to indicate that people in the past encountered robots, or the robots were built by some kings in the past. Also have this video about these 24 black boxes that were found in Egypt, and these were inside chambers, and these boxes are much longer than the passageways that lead to them. So the mystery is, how did they get these huge boxes in there? Were they built before the entire pyramid was constructed? But interesting. Let's see. Also, I have this video about giants in history, different giants in history. And, I'll talk about this photo here. This photo has been seen many times on Facebook and, other social media sites. But this has nothing to do with giants. But this video is about, different like books and weapons and other things that they found in the past that would indicate there must have been giants in the past. This is a photo of these Gate of All Nations, also known as Gate of Xerxes at Persepolis. But look at these things. Here's another photo here of these. So this idea that people in the past were primitive, or that, the way our timeline progresses is, we go from primitive to more advanced, is completely wrong. Again, this is evidence that there must have been advanced civilizations here on the planet in the past, because this is called evidence. And if you look at a lot of these ancient sites very, very closely, you can see, because there's burn marks, that there must have been some type of cataclysm that wiped out a lot of these things. Yeah, and also, not just here, but in Egypt, a lot of these stone structures at the top, you can see that there was some type of destruction, or something that went on that impacted the higher parts of these statues. Here's just another photo of these things, just to give you a perspective. Also have this article from The Sun, stunning admission, Pentagon admits it has been testing wreckage from UFO crashes and findings may change our lives forever, experts say. Again, this goes out to all the people who still want to be in denial, or, I've come across some people who have said, if our military had crash saucers, they would have, someone would have leaked it by now. Well, people have leaked it. Maybe you in particular haven't heard of it or seen it, but this information is out there. And then last, I want to just show you something that was found on Google Earth. This is someplace called Starbuck Island in Kiribati. Actually, I've never ever heard of this, but you can see, I think the idea is that this is a UFO, because you can see what seems to be like a crash marking here, or trail. So actually it leads back to about here. You can see this is just a little tiny island, but we'll take a look at that too. So let me just take a look at this first video here from Reddit. Let me go full screen. Now, people are saying this is a meteor, but meteors don't fly horizontally. And this is something that isn't the first time that something like this has been videotaped. You know, I think, yeah, here it just starts to repeat itself. But yeah, they're calling this a meteor, but I'm not calling it a meteor. I think this is evidence that we're not alone on the planet. Let's see. This is a video that just basically goes over this this photo. Some guy. Oh, here it is right here. Here's the original photo. This guy was. They said he was cruising in a train, in a bullet train. I mean, yeah, I don't know how he gets this in a bullet train, but this is what he caught. He said this object here was darting around Mount Fuji. Let's see. Yeah, strange flying object caught on camera near Mount Fuji. So this is it, and then let's see. This is a close-up of it. The witness while traveling on the bullet train near Mount Fuji in Japan noticed a strange flying object darting around the sky. And essentially that's it. That this video, there's no video of it, but this is what he claims to have seen and took a photo of it. Next is this hour and 25-minute video. You know, of course, I can't play the whole thing, but let me just play you a short clip of this.
More reports than any other year in history.
The sky is the stage, the actors, so-called flying saucers. And they're back on the scene with some new twists.
This is a photograph of a flying saucer taken by myself, and it reminded me of two straw hats stuck together at the brim.
I saw an intensely bright, white-green object in the sky. Now, I wouldn't want to say that this was one of those so-called flying saucers, but whatever it was an object and not an illusion.
Now, I don't want to say, but it was an object. Now, it's amazing how people in the past talked. I mean, how have we changed so much as a society, you know? Or maybe it's just because back then people weren't used to being on camera the way it's pretty much second nature for most people or a lot of people nowadays.
The Air Force had really tried to downplay the UFO problem. But by the summer of 1952, there was an enormous wave of sightings. There were hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of sightings. Most alarmingly, the sightings were focused on Washington, D.C. At least 3 radar systems in Washington and the area were picking up unidentified targets.
This very much worried people in Washington because it looked like penetration of the most important airspace in the country.
Again, and you know, to all the people who have said, oh, if they were aliens, they would have landed on the White House lawn. Well, apparently they did. But just because you didn't happen to hear about it, or because our government lies to us and hides this information from us, does not mean that it did not happen. Because now you are learning that it did. So, you know, again, if you consider yourself a reasonable person, then when you are presented with evidence and facts that contradict what you previously believed, it's time to change your mind. Okay, because that's what a reasonable person would do. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here about these humanoid robots in the past. And again, you know, when I hear stories like this, I have had to reevaluate everything that I thought I knew and everything that I was taught in school about our history. But anyways, take a listen to this.
Homer's Iliad. Another Greek myth says about the copper giant named Thalos, which was also made by Hephaestus. Zeus ordained that the giant should defend the island of Crete. Thalos had an all-metal body topped with a horned head. There was a single artery running from the top to the toe of his body. The artery was plugged with a copper nail. The copper giant patrolled the island and kept the enemy ships at bay by throwing rocks at them. He was also a mouthpiece of Minos, a king of Crete. Thalos began throwing red flame around him after the enemy invaded Crete. Thalos managed to send the enemies running. However, the sorceress Medea outsmarted the giant with the help of false visions. Then she took the plug out of the artery, and the giant's black, oily blood came rushing onto the ground. As a result, Thalos' strength thinned out. Crate became extremely vulnerable to enemy attacks.
You hear that? She unplugged something and then black oil. That must have been some kind of either hydraulic fluid or some type of oil. But this video talks about other incidences in ancient history where the writer is describing what, I think today we would have to say are robots. But anyways, I'll leave a link in the description. Check out this video. Let me go on to the next one. Oh yeah, this video is about these 24 mysterious black boxes that were unearthed in Egypt. And, I want to say again to all the quackademics out there who want to say that, that the pyramids were built by primitive people and they used primitive tools. No, I want to say that if you think that, you're stupid. You're just basically stupid because, no, there's too much evidence now to indicate that our planet was occupied by several highly advanced civilizations in the past. But anyways, check out this video here.
This is one of the main hypotheses put forward for the Egyptians' lack of any records of the pyramids' construction, often decorating them in a more primitive form of writing style. The suspected sarcophagi range in weight between 50 and 100.
Yeah, well, I want to point out something. You see this rock, and you see how the light is shining off the rock, and again, and the perfect precision cut. This is not done by primitive people. This is done by advanced machinery.
100 tons. Their real purpose, or maybe indeed their function, remains unclear, although they were clearly of importance. They were cut with such precision, in fact, they would have remained airtight for eons. Researchers like Brian Foster theorize they are clear examples of lost ancient high technology created before the time of the dynastic Egyptians. Whatever their true purpose was, the truth is that they are beyond magnificent. Well-regarded studies, for example, into the erosion evident on the sphinxes of Giza have proven to indicate they may be far older than the Egyptian civilizations.
Yeah, these things, this was some type of machine. I mean, the fact that there are no drawings on the inside of the walls, to venerate any Egyptian pharaoh or anything like that, would make me believe that the pyramid was some type of machine. There's this notion that it was a burial chamber is ridiculous. I mean, just because someone walked in and called it the king's chamber and the queen's chamber, it doesn't make it a king's chamber and a queen's chamber. It just indicates that whoever named it didn't know what the hell they were talking about. If you believe this notion that just because someone called it a king's chamber or someone called it a queen's chamber and that must make it so, again, that indicates that, you have a sheep brain, that you're easily influenced by just nonsense as opposed to utilizing your own critical thinking abilities, which, I'm beginning to learn a lot of people lack. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Oh yeah, again, this is a perfect example about people's inability to utilize critical thinking. Okay, I have seen this photo circulated on Facebook and other social media about, people asking, well, who are these giant steps built for? Let me point something out here. You see these people here to the left of these giant steps? Okay, these people here, they are on regular size steps. You see, yeah, you can see these are regular size steps. To the right of those regular size steps are terraces for agriculture. Okay, because when you live in a mountainous region and you need to grow food, you have to create flat space on a hill. And this is the way the ancient people created flat spaces. They terraced the hill, right? And they walked up and down the hills on these stairs here to the left that these people are standing on. So no, these terraces were not built for giants. These terraces were built for farming. But now, again, yeah, that's this part. But now, stuff like this, I don't know. What was the purpose of these extremely large books? Wouldn't it be easier to write and read if it was created for normal-sized humans? Yeah, that's what I would think. So yes, stuff like this is what makes me believe that there must have been giants in the past. Again, and that's not just one book. Look at all these different giant books. And, you know, I'll tell you, this is the first time in my life I have ever seen these photographs. This is the first time in my life that I was ever introduced to the idea that they were giant books. So somehow, right, this information has been suppressed because this is what I do. Okay, go back and look at all the number of videos that I've made. Okay, I'm an information junkie. This is my passion. So yeah, I have never seen these things. So that means that people were consciously burying this type of information. Okay, look at, and now these guns, I don't necessarily think that these guns were built for giants, because I think that the people that built them actually had a specific purpose. So again, you know, this is one of these videos where people will inject fake data in with actual data in order to, you know, dilute the truth. Yeah, even here, there's these musical instruments. And now to these instruments which cannot be played by a normal sized human being, why build instruments to this size? That is very, very true. And let's see, what else is there? Oh, yeah, these giant doors. Now, you know, I can understand someone building doors just enabled to create a sense of grandeur. You know, in order to make the plebes feel small, you know, and powerless to the state type of thing. So yeah, I can understand, you know, maybe these doors aren't necessarily built for giants, but, you know, for more of a psychological purpose. But anyways, that's what this video is about. Possible giants in the past. Let's see. Yeah, look at these things. These are called the Gates of All Nation, also known as Gates of Xerxes at Persepolis, Iran. And you know, and I bet you these dates are wrong. 486. I'm pretty sure these things were here millions of years, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, or possibly up to 1 million years. Because yeah, these dates that these quackademics are telling us, that they're wrong. I don't believe them anymore. Here's another photo of this to get a sense of size. I mean, look at these people. Okay, primitive people did not build these things. And again, if any quackademic tries to convince you of that, punch him in the face. They're stupid. Let's see. So I'll leave these links in the description. Let me go on to this. A stunning admission. Pentagon admits it has been testing wreckage from UFO crashes, and findings may change our lives forever, experts say. The Pentagon has admitted to holding and testing wreckage from UFO crashes in a bombshell Freedom of Information letter shared with The Sun. Researchers Anthony Bagalia wrote to the Defense Intelligence Agency requesting details of all UFO material which they hold and results of any test they had been carrying out on it. You know, one thing about this Freedom of Information, if they don't want information out, they don't have to release it. So the fact that they're releasing this information out indicates that they want this information out. And I think it has something to do with space is about to be commercialized or privatized. You know, it's not only governments that are going to be sending people into low Earth orbit. You know, now with Virgin Atlantic and some of these other people creating tourists, so that tourists can go out into space. Again, we're not alone on this planet. And when tourists start taking these little day trips, out into low Earth orbit, they're going to start seeing these our visitors coming back and forth, because I've seen the videos. There's a lot of activity in our skies. A lot of it, again, similar to these photos that they've been hiding from us. Okay, the crafts that constantly come in and out of our atmospheres, that are constantly going in and out of our oceans, is being suppressed. They're not letting people know. But anyways, let me go to the last video, or this last section here. This is about this possible crashed UFO on this Starbuck Island. Okay, I've never ever heard of this Starbuck Island, but let me zoom out so you get an idea of where we're at. See, we're in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. Here's the West Coast over here. All right, so let's come down again. Yeah, and you know, take a look at this, right? People, 70% of our planet is this. Okay, we live on 30%, and then the 30% of which is land, we probably only occupy 15%, right, of the total land, which is mostly along the coast. So if there's an alien civilization, if there were several alien civilizations that wanted to exist on the planet, they easily could anywhere out here. Because how many of us know what's going on? You know, I mean, ships that are 5 miles wide could be landing in this part of the ocean, and you or I would not know about it. Maybe, you know, people in government would, but again, they're not going to tell us. And, you know, don't be naive to think that they would tell us something like that. But anyways, let's go down to this island here. And let's see. First of all, let me just give you a quick measurement of this island here so we know what kind of what we're dealing with. Oops. Okay, so this island is just 6.45 miles long. So let's cruise down here and let's check out this possible UFO crash. So yeah, you see this this line here, right? This line, and then at the end of this line, come down and look at this thing. Or is this a hut and this is just a path to the hut that someone's been walking? Or is it a crash site? Well, let's see. Let me take a measurement of this. This is only going to be feet, I'm sure. Yeah, it's 120 feet. "84 feet wide, 120 feet long." What is it? I don't know. Let me just zoom out here. Let's see. Take a measurement of this. Wow, Yeah, it kind of seems like it came in here and did this kind of a turn. I think it's about that long right there, right? Yeah, just about 7,000 feet. But you know, I don't know what this thing is, but it's called Starbuck Island in Kiribati. I mean, I've never ever heard of this. But look at all this space out here, folks. All right, out here. Again, this is the biggest secret that the government has been hiding from us. But there are civilizations that live out here, right? The UFOs that we see on a constant basis, they're coming back and they're coming in and out of their civilizations in all of this open ocean space that we do not explore. Okay, Google it. 95% of the ocean floor has been unexplored by us. And I don't think that's a coincidence. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.